So the next thing we need to do is update our rosters. And we have a venue manager, VM roster, and a referee roster, which is also called an RAO roster. You'll see down here, referee appointments officer roster. So the way that we do this is we open up our venue manager roster for the season. Now going to an old one, you'll see we have first and last game information, then the shifts that people are working for the roster. Bit of a note here, setup times 45 minutes for Box, 30 minutes for Orchard Grove, and then this automatically calculates the number of hours. On this side, we have all the details of when people are playing. Now, because this is round 3, this is old information. And important to know that when we do this, when we copy this, which we need to do, duplicate it, and create a new one for round 4, the lookup information is the same. So essentially, this is not historical data of when people were playing. It's purely used to roster, so that if we have a gap and we can see, all right, Kirsten's going to be at Box Hill till 9, 10, 11 o'clock finish. If I've got a gap, she might be able to cover it, for example. The referees are here just for my information, but you'll see that that appears in the RAO roster also. So first things first, we looked at this before. We know that our first game at Box Hill is at 8:30 and our last game is at 6:30, and for Orchard Grove also 8:30, and our last game is 5:40. Now I did 5:40 to show you, that makes it AM. You have to type it in, 24-hour format, 17:40. Now it doesn't like me. I'm going to go back and do it properly. So we're going to go 17:40. Alright, so our start time, then we know it needs to be earlier than that. So we usually do it, I'll go to this contacts, hours and notes. So the notes here, if it's at 8:30, we start at 7:45. Okay, so we're allowing 45 minutes for Orchard Grove and an hour and 15 minutes. I'm just going to update this to say an hour and 15 minutes, and here 45. All right, so starting with that, that means we need to start here at, start time is 7:15 AM, and here our start time is 7:45 AM. And if we finish at 5:40, 6:30, then our end time is 1900 or 7 PM. And here's 6:30 till 7:20, and then we have 40 minutes to pack up, 8 o'clock. All right, so you can see our total hours is automatically calculated, 12:45, 11:15, and that comes over here shortly. So first things we need to do is remove all of this and start again. And then the next thing we need to do is update this information here so we can see when, in particular, Josh is coaching. And at the moment, that's all we've got who are coaching, which is quite nice. We used to have to worry about Lauren as well, but at the moment, that's all. So we need to update this via lookup. All right, so just looking, I've got it open somewhere else, which is why that was showing. So we need to replace all of these values. So first delete them. And we'll say round 4. So you can see it's all formula driven here. These are all concatenate, which means add together B2 and D2, and this is left C2, which is the grade, and you'll see why in a minute. So to get that, we go back to our fixture, and we want to go to by team. Again, filtering, and we want to filter by team 1, clear all values, and then select all White Horse teams. So we get a full list of all our White Horse teams. Now if I turn that filter off just for a second, you'll see it goes in order, all the Kunungs, and then before that all the Ivanhoes and all the Elthams. That'll take a while. So by selecting one column, we do in fact grab everyone. It's not just if we are the first team. So again, clear, and then White Horse, select all, okay, and then we simply grab this. You hear me scrolling up to make sure I'm at the very top. all the way to the bottom, copy, go across to Venue Manager Roster, and in grade, right click, paste special, values only, and you'll see it populates this. The reason that we've pulled the grade out is because during grading, so you see this value here is what we're looking up over here, and it doesn't have any grading in it. So they can be in B2 one week, B3 the next, B4, and you don't have to update these values to find the teams. So you can see it's all been updated here. The next thing that we need to do is just work out when everyone's available. Now we tend to just do a draft roster, and then I would use this down here, for example. So let's assume this is full. I would grab that, select it, go to print, change it to selected cells, then do a screenshot, which is, you can either do Command-Shift-4 is what I use. Grab that like that, take a screenshot, you'll see it goes here. I can now click on that, forward it, and say messages, and then send that on to, for example, Josh, Rory, and so on. When you do that, your text message would be something like, hey VMs, please find attached draft roster for round 4. Please tap back or reply to confirm. Thanks, Amanda. Something like that. The next thing that we need to do is to update. I'll just cancel that. There's nothing in there. Cancel. The next thing that we need to do is open our Venue Manager roster. So this season 18-19 RAO roster. It'll be interesting to see whether Evie started working on this. Not yet. Okay. So we want to, I usually just duplicate this because it's blank. So I'll do that now. Make this round 4. Oh, hang on. I think, sorry, insanity happening here. Round 5. Let's see if Evie's already done it. Okay, so this is a previous one. That's all right. So what we want to do is make sure we've got 8:30 to 6:30 for box 1 and box 2, 8:30 to 5:40 for Orchard Grove. Let's just copy that down because that's been made to say no game previously. So if there was no game there, we would do this, merge those cells and just say no game because we can't eliminate it. But given that we do have a game, we'll leave it. And this is where we put our completed Venue Manager roster. So once the Venue Managers tap back, you would fill this in there. It is just a direct copy and paste. So going out of here for a sec, if we go back to a previous round, I've set it up so that you can just go Box Hill, copy, back to here, and then paste special again, paste values only, so that we don't mess up the formatting. So what we want to do now is give the game details. So we do that from our Game Day Master, where we previously put our home games. So we know that box 1 at 8:30, so the grade is there, down to box 1, copy, here, again right click, always paste special values, that way you don't muck up your formatting, and then repeat the process for box 2, copy, right click, paste special values, and finally for Orchard Grove, copy, bit of back and forth, but it gets the job done, paste special values, and that's it, you're done. And we wait for this to be finalised. You will receive an email in here from Evie. They're all filed away in referees, but you'll see here, comes through like this. Here's the roster, and yeah, you'll see it come through your Venue Managers. Once that's done, you can print it off. Please don't print all of this. Okay, so what you need to do to avoid doing that is simply select, that's just our inner workings, print 2 copies of that one for each venue, and you're done.